there's someone waiting for us. So I'm gonna start the YouTube stream as well. So they also get to know that we're gonna play the game tomorrow, not today. What is Kalt Pinksteren? Kalt Pinksteren in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, it's the Kalt Pinksteren. Kalt, if you like, kalt in German means cold. Kalt is cold. Kalt the Pinksteren. Oh, I forgot. If I use this window to type, it will type 2 messages. One in Twitch and one on YouTube. Kalte Pinksteren. It's been raining almost the entire week here in Germany. Or not in Germany, but in the north. And last week, if you lived in the south of Germany, there were even like hail the size of tennis balls, because there was a cold weather front clashing with the super hot weather. So terrible weather conditions in the south, not in the north. We just had basically rain all week. That's how we called it. Oh, Pfingstmontag. Ah, Pfingstmontag. So Pfingstmontag is kalt Pinksteren. Kalt Pinksteren. Cool. So Pinksteren is Pfingsten then. Wait, does kalt mean Monday? Kalt? For the YouTube crowd, since the VOD gets saved over there, we're gonna start 9 Souls tomorrow. I apologize, but it is what it is. We had some technical difficulties, and we're just gonna re-energize, revitalize, charge the batteries again, and then we'll start tomorrow. I will probably start early tomorrow. Probably around 4 p.m. or maybe even 3 p.m. Go a little bit of like old school streamer career. 3 p.m. depending on how fast I'll be done with work. Okay, 3 p.m. might be a little bit too soon, because I usually have to wait until 5 p.m. to be able to do things safely. But I could be done by 3 p.m. or 3:30. We'll see, but I definitely want to start a little bit sooner tomorrow, and then also go a little bit longer. So we're not gonna have a 3-hour stream or 4-hour stream. I'm gonna go longer so we can finish the game fast. Not rushing through it, but just finishing games faster, because I want to get back to Expedition 33. There's also the Dragon Ball game that I want to, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to get into that, because MOBA is already a genre I really like, and then mixed with Dragon Ball, and it's on PC, so it's not like in Pokemon Unite where you could only play on the phone or on the Switch. So I'm very excited for that, but once again, it's kind of bloated. Like the UI, it is basically eye cancer. I kid you not. There's so much stuff going on, and I hope that they take some feedback from the people who participate in that technical beta and reduce UI elements. The cleaner the better. Guess I gotta wake up early tomorrow. I'm sorry. Yeah, if I'm actually gonna start at 4 p.m, then you gotta, if you live in the States, you have to wake up a little bit sooner. I'm sorry. It is what it is. We are unfortunately too far apart. Hi Typhoon, hello, good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. I'm a little bit salty as well because Hikaru watched us earlier today, and then that was kind of embarrassing. The little fit I had and me venting and crying that nothing is working in front of a very experienced Twitch partner. That was embarrassing. That was really embarrassing. I think I closed the doors for future collabs right in that moment. Oh boy. Hope you're doing great, Typhoon. If you're expecting 9 Souls gameplay, not happening today. We're just gonna have a chit chat. Just gonna talk. Gonna restart tomorrow. I'm sure Hikaru understands. I hope so. I hope so. I mean, streamers and technical difficulties, that's like almost like it can be used synonymously almost, right? That just belongs together. Once again, the issue I have is not with having technical difficulties. In the past, I always said having technical difficulties is kind of part of our experience here on this channel. It's the breaking with no explanation whatsoever and then working the moment I end the stream. That's the thing that pissed me off, because there's no learning experience to be made here in that circumstance. It's like in the past, early 90s, early 2000s, late 90s, the cartridges in the N64 not working, then you pull them out, you blow some wind into there, you put them back in and it works. That's basically what just happened. Blowing the cartridge is just what happened. I changed nothing. Once I stopped the stream and restarted the game, it worked. Everything worked. I just blew the cartridge. By the way, did we ever find out, we kids from the 90s, why blowing the cartridge worked? Is it because the dirt was blocking the electronical current that was on the platina? Or was it just random? Probably. I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna ask Gemini, my assistant. Hello, Jin. Gemini, why did blowing the cartridge back in the day work? Dust particles getting in the way of electronic transfer. That would be very plausible. The myth and the reality why blowing in your retro game cartridges seem to work. Oh dude, they're writing an essay. Just give me one sentence. In one sentence, please. I'm part of the reason why AI gets dumber. Blowing into a game cartridge seemed to work mostly because reinserting it would scrape the contacts into a better position, while the moisture from your breath could temporarily bridge the electrical connection on the dirty or worn out pins. Okay. So it did work. It did help. It wasn't just our imagination. Lazy Lazzy, hello, welcome. We should probably go to the just chatting category. Oh, this is Nico. Hi, Nico. Wait, what kind of profile picture do you have? Let me check. What anime is that from? Sorry for exposing you like that. But some of you have very interesting profile pictures. And on my screen it looks very small, so that's why I'm using that that widget. So I can take a look. I can stalk you. But welcome, Nico. Welcome, welcome. It's from Urusai Yatsura. Nice. Oh, speaking of anime, there's something I need to show you. You know how I'm secretly working on my own manga? And hopefully in the future an anime adaptation of that as well. And it's gonna be Kung Fu related. Because I'm a huge fan of Kung Fu. Never did martial arts, unfortunately. You would think how much of a fan I was of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan that I got my ass into a dojo. I never did. For some reason, I never really got interested into fighting myself, but I loved watching it. Do you know any Japanese? You sound kind of smooth saying that. Oh no, but I did, as anyone in the VTuber industry, and as anyone who loved anime growing up, at some point I did try. I did try learning Japanese. I started with hiragana and katakana. So basically, not the kanji. Kanji is super duper complicated, but I started with the... I don't even know how to explain hiragana and katakana. I think it's like most common words used in Japan that you can learn. Like hiragana and katakana is easy. I'm not even joking. That's very easy. There's just a bunch of letters letters and vowels and whatnot that you need to learn, and then you can actually start. Yeah, exactly. A, I, U, E, Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, Ko, and I learned a song about that. Yeah, it's quite easy, and the book that I had was basically one that tried to teach you hiragana and katakana by merging them with like associations. For example, in German, a basket is called Korb. Basket. Korb. And this is how I memorized Ko. Because Ko, with a lot of imagination, looks like a basket. One that you would carry your clothes in, for example, your dirty clothes. So if you take a look at the letter Ko, I'm gonna try and show it to you. Yes, you're right. Yeah, and this is basically how I learned it. So Ko is... let me just switch the scene. I need to switch the scene so you can see that. YouTube show. Go to this one. Yeah. So you see that? What I mean by like basket with lots of imagination. So if you connect this, that's like a basket that you can carry. And that is how I still, to this day, even though it's been like 15 years already, I still, when I see this letter, I know it's Ko. Same with K. K looks like a dude carrying a samurai sword. A dude in German is called Kerl. So Kerl is how I learned K. Or for example, no. No is looks like a no parking sign. No parking. So if you take a look at the no letter, you can see it's like a no parking sign. So the book was very, very, very good in teaching hiragana and katakana, and as you can see, even though it's been probably 15 years since I touched that book, I still remember those. In German we call it Eselsbrücken. And I probably asked this a million times. There's probably a word in English as well, which I always forget. People always teach me in this community. I always forget, but it's like if you associate the meaning with like an image, that's like Eselsbrücken. The kanji for south is pronounced nan in compound words, which reminds me of naan bread, which is from South Asia. Yeah. I still know. What else do I know? Ke, tsu, I still know tsu. Ke was kerl, ko was corp. No was no parking sign. Yeah, and these letters, for example, like hiragana is already enough to read the most common signs in Japan. A mnemonic device. How do you pronounce that? Mnemonic device. Let me see. Is it Eselsbrücken? Oh yeah, it's Eselsbrücke. How do you pronounce this?
Mnemonic. Mnemonic.
Mnemonic. So the N is silent? You don't pronounce the M. In English, something people use to help remember something else. Yeah. That is so confusing. It looks like demonic. Mnemonic. Mnemonic. Eselsbrücke. I do not know why we call it Eselsbrücken in German, to be honest, but this would translate to donkey bridge. Maybe it's because dumb people need something to bridge that connection. Donkey bridge.
Eselsbrücke.
Eselsbrücke. I did not come up with that, but it does. Pneumonia is also weird, and that's like lung issues. There are lots of German words that are very, very, very similar to English, though. I think if you want to learn German, and if you know English, you're gonna have an easy time. Not the grammar, mind you, grammar is gonna be terrible, but speaking of lung, Lunge is the German word for lung. You just add an E at the end. Yeah. Wait, who says that? There's a VTuber that always says, yeah. Which one is it? Definitely one I watch. Yeah. Oh! The biggest news ever. I forgot to tell you something. I'm happy to announce that we're gonna get a new system when it comes to VTubing. And you will not guess who it is. It is so insane. I'm so happy for Kumori, our rigger. It's mind-blowing. The jumps she made from someone like me. And I don't mean this like in a like I'm awesome. But I'm not a big creator. You know what I mean? Like I'm such a small drop in the vast, vast ocean. And now she is dealing with the whales in the ocean. So she went from plankton, basically, from microbes to whale. And whale was also already a hint. It's not Bao the whale, but I would say in the same family of sea creatures. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I'm gonna show you. Okay, are you ready? I saw something written in German the other day and I could understand it. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is the same word family. So eventually, like, you will recognize a lot of words. They're just pronounced a little bit differently. Just slightly. Hello, hello, hello. Why do I not see your name? Wait, I cannot pronounce your name. Your name is Japanese. Hello, you beautiful a person. But your name is like either Japanese or even Chinese. I don't know. Hana? Is it Hana? Welcome, Hana. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? Welcome. It's Japanese. You can just call me Hana. Okay. Hana. Wait, doesn't that mean flower? Hana is like flower, right? In Chinese, it's hua. Good, and you? I'm doing great. Now I'm doing... I gotta admit, I'm not gonna lie to your face. I'm doing better now, but I started a stream an hour ago, and I had to stop the stream because none of my technology was working. I was supposed to play 9 Souls today. We're just gonna do that tomorrow. Good, and you? I'm doing better now, way better now. But thank you so much for asking, and welcome to the Jinyo Force. I should address our community a little bit more with our official community name, the Jinyo Force. First of all, it's a cool ass name, and second of all, we need a more like identity. We need more identity. People still don't know what this channel is about, what kind of VTuber I am. But back to my first point that I made 10 minutes ago. We're gonna get a new sister. I should say stepsister because we don't have the same artist, but we're gonna have the same rigger. And you won't believe who it is. I couldn't believe it, but when I saw it, I was like super happy. I was super happy because it is one of the biggest stars in the industry. Are you a Fox VTuber? No. My lore is kind of complicated, Hannah. For now, I'm a tiger VTuber. I'm a white tiger VTuber. But there's way more to it. There's so much more to it. But to simplify things, because people don't really get it when they look at my model, I simplified it a little bit. So for now, for the time being, we are a community of tiger cubs, and I'm a tiger VTuber. A karma-based tiger VTuber. Why tigers are my favorite animal? I mean, big cats in general are awesome. I love big cats. Until last year, I had a cat on of my own. Not a big cat, a small cat, but a beautiful one. And he was on my side for 15 years. So I'm definitely a cat person, and I love big cats. I love big cats. I never noticed your avatar had ears. Oh yeah, this is for... I'm gonna explain it tomorrow when we're gonna play 9 Souls. Since my cat was born in June, my cat passed away last year after 15 years on my side. He passed away last year. And since he was born in June, I promised last year that every June from now on, we're gonna play a cat game. So I added cat ears to my avatar. And also I changed the color of my pupils. Usually, let me just go back to my normal self so you know how I would usually look like. Boom. And boom. This is how we usually look like. Wow. Wait. Wow. That's us. But it is Catboy June for my boy Zimba, which was my cat. So we're gonna go into Catboy mode. I love the transition so much. Like, if I press the button and then you see the color of the eyes go black, no highlights whatsoever, it looks so cool. Let me try and look into the camera directly so you know what I mean. Look at this. Look at this. Whoop. You saw that? So cool. Whoop. 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 What kind of type of cat did you have? A Persian cat. A very fluffy, always grumpy, big ass. Not really big because most of it was just fur. A Persian cat. Who used to, like, when we got him, his name was Ludwig. Ludwig von Perlenköpfchen. That was his name. And I was like, nope, that's not gonna be the name. The moment he steps into my house, he's not gonna be Ludwig von Perlenköpfchen anymore. So I renamed him. But since he was, well, he was a prince, basically, right? He had royal blood. His grandparents were European champions. When it came to, like they went to a beauty contest, I guess, and his grandparents were champions, European champions. So I was like, since he has royalty in his name, I'm gonna name him after the Lion King, Simba. Ludwig is a funny name for a cat. I'm not a huge fan of naming cats after, like, legit human names. I feel like cats always need to have, like, special types of names. like the other day I watched a short of a kid playing doctor with a cat. Like a little child, and the cat's name was Boris. Cats are cute. I have a munchkin cat. Cute! I love munchkins. I mean, I love all cats, to be honest. I agree, it always feels strange. Imagine a dog named Dimitri. Dogs are... You know what my favorite type of video recently is? Cats messing around with dogs to a point where the dogs are almost like traumatized. Not in like a negative sense, don't get me wrong, but I don't know why even the big dogs have so much respect for a small ass kitten, and it's so funny. I'm gonna show you what I mean in a second, so it doesn't seem too weird. Like, oh, what? You think it's funny that dogs are traumatized? I don't mean it in that sense. But just, they're so scared of cats. And it makes no sense. Even like a huge Labradoodle, which is 5 times the size and also the weight of a cat. And it's so terrified. I need to show it to you. But first, the big reveal. We have big stars when it comes to our stepsisters. Ebiko is one of them. Ebiko is also a huge indie VTuber. I showed you Ebiko a couple of times. I cannot show you a little bit more of Ebiko because she's very, like, lewd. She's a lewd tuber, so it's gonna be very risky to show you more of lewd-tuber, of Ebiko. But there's another star in the ranks of the stepsisters of ours. And I'm gonna stop stalling. Don't worry. It is freaking... Wait, wrong button. Sorry, I'm not stalling. I'm not doing this on purpose. Drum rolls, please. It is Shy Lily. Shy Lily's gonna be our stepsister. That is insane. This is probably the peak of our entire existence as a VTuber. I can basically say that Shy Lily is our stepsister. It's crazy. So, once again, congratulations to Komori for... it's just... I mean, she deserves it. She 100% deserves it. But she went from a dude like me to Shy Lily. That is a career that you can be definitely proud of. I don't know what kind of thing she's working on. Probably a new, I don't know, either a new model entirely, like a 4.0, 5.0 type of thing, or a new outfit. I'm not exactly sure. Cinder used to be our stepsister as well, but we don't mention Cinder in this community anymore because she turned out to be a horrible person, unfortunately. Was that the shrimp tuber? Yeah. Ibiko is a shrimp tuber. She's a shrimp cat. So she's cat and shrimp at the same time. But once again, if I could show you Ibiko right now, but it would be a very risky, like 80% probably bannable offense. So we're not gonna risk that. She's great though. She's also probably the most creative indie VTuber in the scene right now. Because like she does a lot of things that people after her then adapt, like carpool interviews and whatnot, which is a cool idea. So she does a lot of things pretty well. So that's our stepsister. Shy Lily is now our stepsister. I swear to God, I'm gonna add that to my bio on Twitter, just so I can brag a little bit. I don't know other VTubers beside Ninja Sanji and First Stage Production and some solo VTubers. I'm the opposite. I know more indie VTubers than I know like actual agency VTubers. The only agency VTuber I watch, unless you call like V Shoujo agency as well, but apart from that, I watch Kiara Takanashi. So Hololive is it, I believe? But that's pretty much the only one. That's so great for Komori? Yes. And once again, I mean, you can see it with our model. And I'm not trying to brag, but she put so much work into our, in quotation marks, like very simple model. Because my model doesn't have a lot of layers. You know, like the more layers your model has, you can do like one layer for each strain of hair pretty much. So that's not the case with my model. My model is pretty straightforward. It's very, very simple, you could say. But even though I had a super simple model, she made such a fantastic job with just rigging the model. It almost looks 3D, even though it's 2D. And that is definitely one of her biggest strengths, I would say. That Komori has adapted a style of animating and rigging that it just, your character looks 3D. Which is insane. And she, once again, she definitely deserves where she is right now. And she definitely deserves all the praise in the world. And she's now working, once again, with the big stars in the scene. If Cinder didn't turn out to be a horrible person, then she would have worked for Cinder, who is a huge indie VTuber, Shy Lily, who is a huge indie VTuber, Ibiko, who is a huge indie VTuber. And I hope that for her, but usually that's the case once you got your foot into that kind of like inner circle. I'm pretty sure she'll soon start to do models for Bao as well, and then all the other like big stars, because they're usually like this. If you're in the top 1%, that's like a very close-knit community. So I think once you got your foot into that top 1% community, then I mean, I hope that for her. Fingers crossed. She's gonna be hopefully the go-to for these types of indie VTubers. Pretty cool. Shows you once again what kind of super duper keen eye I have for talent. Not trying to take any credit for it, but you know how many riggers and artists there are out there? There's a fish, there's a sea of fish, of riggers, and I found the diamond. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, and she's so humble still. She's very humble. She's very nice, super professional. But I think you noticed this with the moment I started working with Komori. I think I said on Discord that I never worked with someone this professional in my times as a streamer. Super like communication skills, very responsive, on time, even faster than what was promised. It's just, that is how you get on top. If you just do the things right, the right way, especially in this industry where a lot of good artists as well not really communicate in the right way. I think communication might be the biggest issues for a lot of artists. just being honest and saying, yo, I just need 2 more weeks, or I need more month. And I get why they do that. I don't want to blame the artist, because a lot of people are very trigger happy when it comes to getting refunds. And you don't want to work on something for a month or a month and a half just so somebody refunds everything and your work was basically wasted. It happens a lot in this type of industry. So I do get both sides, basically. I get the side of the artists being afraid that people would cancel, and therefore not having like super nice communication. But I also get the people on the other side who get pissed off that they don't get communicated or do not get notified soon enough. I'm one of those people, because I really give the artists that I work with basically a blanco check. I tell them, take however long you need. I just want your best work. If you need a month longer, so be it. And yet, even though I'm such a nice customer, yet I had people who stole 2 months of my life by constantly lying and delaying and lying and then canceling on me. It is what it is. What else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, the game yesterday. You know, I ended the stream earlier yesterday, so I could still catch the second half of the game, and man, was it good. The game was tied, then they went into overtime, nobody scored, so they went into the penalty shootout. And it was like nail biting, because the first 3, you know how in soccer you have 5 penalties. When it goes to penalty shootout, which will happen after overtime. So if in regular time the game is still tied, they will go into overtime. That will be 30 additional minutes, 15 minutes per half. And then if nobody scores and there's still no winner after overtime, they will go into a penalty shootout. So 5 people will shoot, will try to shoot a goal each. And it was tied until the 4th one. Tied until the 4th, basically the 4th striker went to the line. So, like, it's such a nail-biting final. That is exactly what you want out of a final. Fantastic. Portugal ended up winning, which was very nice, because it was probably Ronaldo's final trophy, and also his final time we see him in Europe. That was very sad. Sorry I wasn't there for yesterday. Just discovered you for today. Anna, if you didn't know of my existence yesterday, then you don't need to apologize. That is fine. That is fine. Even if you discovered me yesterday, you don't have to apologize. That is my go-to rule when it comes to streaming. I appreciate you being here, but I understand there's a life outside of the streaming bubble, and if you can make it to the streams, that's awesome. If you cannot make it to the streams, I totally understand. I'm never gonna discard anyone for not being here in the stream, so don't worry about it. I'll never discard anyone in our community for not showing up to streams. No, I just never knew. Oh, it's fine. It is fine. It is fine. By the way, Hannah, I'm from Germany, so time zones might be an issue as well. Where are you from, Hannah? I mean, based on the name that you have, Japan. I'm guessing. So time zones might clash. The majority of our community is from America, but then we also have a bunch of people from Europe, Netherlands, Denmark. We have a bunch of people from Malaysia, Indonesia, South Korea even. Oh, California. Okay, cool. Well, then you're part of the American family. Damn it. I'm saying damn it because I'm so far away from you guys. It's 10:20 right now in Germany, PM. I wish I could just move a little bit closer to the States. Like a 3-hour difference would be nice, but 6 to 10 hours, that's rough. Some of you just started their days. Mine is over almost. Well, let's just believe in this channel, believe in the progress and the growth of this channel, and soon I'll be able to switch to the States. And with soon I mean 5 years. 5 to 10 years. That's where when we probably see like the fruit that we sow, the seed that we sow today. No. What is the phrase? You reap what you sow. Oh yeah. The seed that we sow today is what we will reap 5 years from now. Well, I'm half Japanese, but just moved here, if that counts. Oh, cool. I mean, I just love people in general. So the more the merrier, and the more cultures we have in here, the better. And I'm a huge fan of people who have like two, like different kind of like ethnicities with their parents. It's pretty cool. You're like Gohan. You're like half human, half Saiyajin. That's pretty cool. A 3-hour difference from the US would mean you're living in Greenland. I mean, let's just wait for the next 3 years. Maybe Greenland will be part of the US. We'll see. Like Canada, to be totally honest with you, Canada is something I can see myself like living long term. America is just so big and so different when it comes to the states that I right now, unless I visit first and check out all the states, right now I couldn't tell you which state I could live long term, for example. And with long term, I mean like 5+ years. I don't know anything about the climate. I know that California is hot, but how hot is it? I know Texas is hot, but how hot means hot in the US, you know what I mean? Because it also depends on the humidity, because like 30 degrees can feel extreme, like it can kill you, how bad it feels. Or it could be like pretty chill. 30 degrees in the north of Germany, where I live, is almost nothing. It's like a cool type of weather to go to the beach. Pretty freaking hot. Yeah, that's the thing. Plus, as someone who lives in Germany, and the only times I really saw weapons in my entire life was, well, the police. And not drawn weapons. So I think the concept of open carry, I'm not even gonna go into like gun discussions or anything like that, but I think just the idea of open carry, which I didn't even know was a thing up until like recently, that there's like a law that allows you to, in some states, I don't know which ones, but the like open carry, you can just carry around a freaking rifle and just go to Target. I think that would freak me out. Very hot. It's like in the 70s. Where can you carry around a rifle? I think in some states, or is it? Am I wrong with this? I might spout wrong information as well, because once again I don't live in the States. Not necessarily a rifle. Maybe, okay, rifle was probably the wrong word. Are you talking about the US? Okay, rifle was probably, I meant just weapon in general. Rifle was probably very specific. That's the only thing. A lot of people do own rifles. You're not wrong. You know, I'm probably focusing on the like very specific cases, but you know how many times, for example, I get lost when I'm visiting new countries because I roam around. I like to roam around. Like if I'm on vacation in a new country, I usually like to, like, the first day you arrive at the hotel, you check in, and then the next 3, 4, 5 hours you just check out the area, right? Without any maps or anything like that. You just go out the hotel and see what is around your hotel. And you know how many times I got lost doing that? And the fear I have is, you know, my fear is that I just fear that I end up in the wrong in the wrong area and get shot for trespassing. That's the thing I'm scared about. Hunting rifles or assault rifles? Rifles can't be openly carried around by civilians. Okay, I think rifles was very specific. But the one thing I'm very scared about, like as once again, as a German, the fact, like, people have weapons in Germany as well. You can get a certificate, like a license to have a weapon at home, right? To defend yourself in the worst case. So self-defense is a thing here in Germany as well. But once again, like, we don't have a gun culture here in Germany, so. That's the only thing where I would be like, since I'm so clumsy that I will get myself killed in the US. I go out, I lose my phone, I end up in some person's garden because I was just climbing around, and then I get shot. And I'm painting a very I'm well aware. I'm not trying to generalize. I'm not saying every American is trigger happy and will kill you the moment you step on their property. I'm just saying, just knowing myself, you know, I like to drink as well, like on parties, and then it's you have fun. You know what I did? Like, I don't know if I should tell you this, but around the time I graduated, me and my friends, we climbed the Burger King building. We were drunk. And you know, like the crown, it was not inflated anymore. So it was just sitting there, and we found a ladder. And we went up there, and we were just taking pictures and drinking and having fun on the Burger King roof. That's what I mean. Like that's what I'm scared of. I go on a party, maybe club. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do some stuff outside, and then I get shot. You're not wrong. As an American, I shoot at least 3 trespassers a year. Poor delivery drivers. What are you doing on my property? It's okay, you're not the only one. My older what? Your older sister or brother did the same when we were in Korea. Yeah, I mean, it's like as an adult, not an adolescent, not a full-fledged adult, you tend to do some stupid stuff. Brother, okay. No worries. I figured it might either be brother or sister. How many siblings do you have? I give them 5 stars after, though. Let me see if I can Find more things. Oh! Wait, the whole reason why I wanted to go over to Twitter was to show you the cool ass kung fu animation that I found from an anime called Hina Matsuri. Hina Matsuri. It's from 2018. But this one looked so cool, and if we ever get a Jinyo anime, I want this to be exactly like this. This is so cool. This reminds me of like old Jackie Chan movies. Really well made. Look at this. So cool, so smooth. You know how difficult it is to make these smooth ass animations? That's so dope. Yeah, I need to watch this one. I need to watch this one. Okay, and then I wanted to show you. Oh, this is the one that I wanted to show you as well. This is what I meant with traumatized. Look at these. I can't. Oh. Why is he so frightened? This one was my favorite. Why are dogs so scared of cats? Oh boy.
Well done.
Do you think it's something like evolutionary? Because, well, a tiger, a lion, or just big cats in general are like stronger than wolves? Do you think there is something like primal that is still stuck in dogs' brain that they shouldn't mess with cat-like creatures? Or is it because dogs are in general a little bit more submissive? What is it? The slap was personal from the kitten.
Why are you standing in the kitty bed? Is it because the kitty is in your bed?
That is, that is wild.
Is that it? Oh.
That poor dog. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. That, what a baddie. Yeah. It's, once again, it's from an anime called Hina Matsuri. Hina Matsuri. Gonna copy this and paste this here, just in case people want to check it out later. Oh, this one is also very, very funny. Usually, like, you know how I feel about AI. We shit on AI on a weekly basis. There's lots of dangers that come with AI, misinformation, just the dumbing down of society, theft when it comes to artists and artistry. So AI is really shitty in a lot of cases. In some cases, AI can be very beneficial as well, like medicine, for example. But you know how they started doing like adding audio to VO3, so you can generate videos now and give those videos audio. And someone remade like the story of Moses, but made it so that he's like a YouTuber live streaming the Exodus. And I couldn't help myself, but that was so funny. Like, that was, if we're gonna use AI, please let us just use AI in this sense, because
Me and Aaron just got inside the palace. We're about to ask Pharaoh to let our people go. No idea.
They did the same with Bigfoot as well. There's like a channel that uploads like Bigfoot vlogs. Maybe because an agitated cat's body language is threatening towards a dog. Oh yeah, it could definitely be body language. You're right, because animals like that, dogs and whatnot, are very good at reading body language. Yeah, you're definitely right. It might be the body language.
Idea how this is gonna go, but wish us luck. Okay, we just left the meeting. We asked, he laughed, said no one's going anywhere. Anyway, the fight goes on.
Pharaoh, if you're watching this, this is your last chance. Let the people go, or it's gonna rain,
Let
hail,
the
frogs, whatever.
people go.
Hashtag let my people go.
He let us go, then changed his mind. Now he's sending soldiers. We're literally running to the sea right now. We just got here, sea in front, army behind, no way out. Everyone's freaking out. Let's see what God tells us to do. Guys, the sea literally opened up. I'll explain later. We're walking through now. And no, this path isn't on Google Maps.
Didn't film the parting, was busy holding the staff. But yeah, it worked. The sea split.
The sea literally just split. I explain later.
I'm exhausted.
All right, guys, we made it. Seal's behind us, Pharaoh's not. Don't forget to like, comment, and maybe bring sandals next time we walk.
That is the best use case for AI. I feel like video generators. I can watch a lot of these Moses live streaming vlogs or Bigfoot. Oh, that was funny. Oh, all right. I think the other ones will leave for a different day. Oh yeah, this is the thing. Like, this is something I never knew. I feel so ashamed saying this. I'm very old. I never knew this. Oh, please. So what I didn't know is that your neck has the what is Umfang in English? In English, what is this called? What is this called? Circumference. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. So the neck typically has like the half of the circumference of your hips. So if you're not sure whether your pants are like fitting or not, without trying them, you just have to, like, if you like do the thing that this guy is currently doing, then they should fit. Like, if they go around your neck easily, and there's still a little bit of room to a left, basically, that is when you know that the pants will probably fit without even trying them on. I never knew that. There are like other types of tricks that he's showing, like the elbow trick over here. My question is, why do schools not teach stuff like this in like elementary school? Like these types of life hacks. I feel like we should learn stuff like this in school. Am I wrong with this? People trying to profit off AI is nasty though. What happens if they don't fit though? I mean, they should. Based on this trick, I haven't tried it yet. I will try it myself. I will try this trick on the pants that I have that do fit me, and I'll see if the circumference thingy is correct or not. Okay, do we have more stuff? More cats. I'm so sorry. I love cats. Surprise! This thing, you can get it on Amazon, or you can get it on literally every other platform. You should probably not get it on Amazon because you could get it way cheaper on other platforms. But this is not a myth. Cats love this. I tried this on Zimby. He loved it. He got annoyed by the sound. So if you have a cat that is very, or a pet in general, like if you have a dog, that they would probably love it too. If they are very sensitive to sound, you should probably not do that, or do it very carefully, but they love this shit. It's not a myth. Like, I'm pretty sure you've seen a billion videos, similar videos like this. This thing is awesome for cats. Kawaii, yes. This also shows me that cats will be fine, even in a time without humans, like 100 years from now, when robots have replaced us. I'm pretty sure cats will still get the pettings, the usual pets, head pets from robots. They'll be fine. They don't need us. Offkai is happening soon, which is a huge VTuber convention, I believe. Offkai Expo. I think it's in LA. Not exactly sure, but I know it's in America somewhere. So if you're a fan of these types of conventions, maybe you should stop by. You can do meet and greets and stuff like that. Alright, let me see if I have more stuff. Oh. Since we talked about like some positive aspects of AI, let me show you another negative one. When I saw this, I couldn't believe my eyes. So there was something like a court taking place, and
Come here today, a humble pro se
All right.
before a panel of 5 distinguished justices.
Is this, hold on. Is that counsel for the case?
I generated that.
he generated a lawyer for this case, like a counsel for this case. And at first, I thought he was the one that gets, who is basically prosecuted. Right? So I thought, okay, maybe it makes sense for someone who doesn't have money, cannot afford it, that he fed a machine and then basically generated his lawyer. So at first I was like, okay, I kind of understand. Lawyers are kind of expensive, and the ones that the state usually provides for you are not very good. So I understand how someone could get the idea of generating their own lawyer, basically, with AI. And then I read the title again. And this is a lawyer. This is a lawyer who outsourced his work to AI. And I'm pretty sure the person, he charged the person, whoever his client was, he probably charged them the same rate. And just let them AI do the work. Fortunately for us...
I'm sorry?
Generated that? That is not a real person.
Okay, it would have been nice to know that when you made your application. You did not tell me that, sir. I received the application. And you have appeared before this court and been able to testify verbally in the past. You have gone to my clerk's office and held verbal conversations with our staff for over 30 minutes.
Okay, that judge wasn't having it. So that's kind of good. But... yeah, just I feel like it's just a moment. It's just a matter of time until you cannot really tell that this is not real anymore. That's the thing. I would do them if it wasn't pretty expensive. Yeah, that goes for most things in life. Unfortunately, the best things in life come with a price. I mean, not all of it, obviously. Like, a lot of awesome things in life come without a price. I mean, technically, they also come with a price because they require you to spend time, and time is kind of a currency, right? So, nothing in life is free. You gotta work for it some way or another. The way he said it, he was so proud of it. Yeah, I generated that. How lazy do you have to be as a lawyer? I mean, most of them already use ChatGPT. I've seen something like a post of a person who works in IT and who set up a huge database. Or an AI, he basically, I don't know, he connected the API of ChatGPT or something like that, and he connected that with the database of a lawyer's office, whatever it's called, Kanzlei in German. So now when they're looking for specific use cases or things that were similar, they just ask their own version of ChatGPT. Yeah, I'll tell you, AI is freaking dangerous. Oh, have you ever seen a Shinchan key cover? Those are the things that I'm interested in at my age. I'm sorry, but that is just dope. The only reason I wouldn't get this is because I feel like when it doesn't look like a key anymore, I'm more likely to lose it. That's the only reason why I don't have a Shinchan key yet. A key cover. But this is a cool idea. The random stuff I find on the internet. Oh, you might be wondering why I like this video. A male bee dies shortly after mating with the queen bee. Now, why do you think I like this video? Not because I'm a huge fan of biology, which I am, but there was one comment that made me laugh so hard that I had to like it and I had to share it with all of you. That's why I liked it. Usually when I like stuff on Twitter it's because I want to share it with you. Someone commented, wait for it, it's a dad joke, but it's the best dad joke. Someone, watch the video again, because I need to build it up. Watch this video again. Watch the bees mating. Alright, are you ready for the pun? Someone commented that this bee, the male bee, he gave a flying fuck. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. He gave a flying fuck. Okay, not funny. I thought it was funny. What? I did not say anything. I thought it is one of those situations where I thought it was super funny, but I guess not. You know how you would usually say, I don't give a flying fuck if something does not interest you. And this bee gave a flying fuck in the literal sense because they were mating while they were flying. You know? Okay, the moment you have to explain the joke is the moment you realize that it bombed. Typical dad jokes are worse than my dad's joke lines. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I apologize. On behalf of all dads. I'm not a dad. Yet. But I'm getting good practice in those jokes. What else can I share with you in my magical box of random Twitter videos that I like? Oh, this was the Bigfoot. We need to watch this. Bigfoot vlogs core.
I'm tweaking. Well, now I can't stop sucking on it.
I've been drunk the past 3 weeks off your leftover beers. Somebody has go to stop me. I just scared the actual crap out of those hikers. They are never coming back to Yosemite.
This is what we need to use AI for. I'm a huge fan of these shitpost AI thingies. I don't like AI once again. I know that is a big issue, especially in the artist community, because AI is learning off of stolen goods. AI is learning from stolen art from artists which did not consent to it. So I know the issue. Don't get me wrong. I'm not on the side of AI, but there are things where I heavily promote AI, and I don't think it's something that is entirely that we need to entirely demonize, because there are use cases for AI where it's good. For example, medicine, because once again, medical advancements is always good until to a point, I guess. And there are so many fields like medicine where you AI can just increase the ratings of how we find vaccines, for example, or just what is it called? Heilung, a solution for a disease way faster because of AI can just you know. I think that is it. Yeah, I don't think I have more to show you other than this funny thing, but this is only funny if you've watched Naruto. If you don't watch Naruto, you probably won't get the joke. But this is a character called Sai, I believe. I haven't watched Shippuden in such a long time, but I think his name was Sai, and his ability was to create basically monsters, you could say, out of his paintbrush. He has like this paintbrush, and then he has this huge scroll, and whatever he paints on this scroll will turn into an actual creature. And in this meme, he drew. Usually he would draw something like a dragon or like a bird, a huge bird. And in this meme, he drew One Punch Man and Goku. So in the Naruto universe, technically they would manifest into beings and would be able to fight. I thought that was funny. But this is only like one thing you get when you watch Naruto. Naruto's good old anime movie too. Naruto is one of the big dogs. I haven't watched Boruto yet, but I feel the same. Even though I haven't watched Boruto yet, but I feel the same about Boruto, the way I feel about Dragon Ball Super, because I feel like Naruto was like the original Dragon Ball, and then Naruto Shippuden was like Dragon Ball Z, and Boruto is Dragon Ball Super. And while Boruto might be awesome, and while Super was good in a lot of ways, I feel like they are just stretching things too much. You know, the other day, I'm a little bit ashamed to say this because I'm 33 years old, and sometimes I use AI to ask things about the shows I grew up with. For example, there's one thing that always bothered me with Dragon Ball. So I asked Gemini, yo, because we have Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan God, the Rose form, and now in Dragon Ball Daima, Super Saiyan 4 was confirmed as well. So Super Saiyan 4 is now canon because it literally came out of Toriyama's brush. So I asked Gemini if... Let me just go back to this scene. If there's so many new forms, then Super Saiyan is such a... Like, it's such a small transformation in the grand scheme of things, right? Because you have the normal Saiyan, like the normal form, then you have Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Ultra Instinct, right? So Super Saiyan is like the second out of 8 transformations. So it's 2 out of 8. So I asked Gemini, since Super Saiyan transformation is such a it's like a commodity, right? At this point, like it's such a non-issue anymore. Like it's such an easy thing to do. How come an entire planet of Saiyans, since we also know that the legendary Super Saiyan is not a thing? I mean, Broly might, right? But it's not like only one Saiyan can become a Super Saiyan. So I asked Gemini, how come an entire planet of Saiyans who were fighting for a living, so they were constantly fighting, how come none of them ever achieved Super Saiyan? Like, it makes zero sense to me. That is sometimes how I spend my afternoons, by the way. I get into arguments with Gemini. And he said that apparently you gotta have Z cells, which I never knew. I don't think it was ever explained somewhere in the show, or maybe it was and I did not pay attention, but apparently you gotta have a certain amount of cells, Z cells, and if you have enough of those, like the more you have of those, the easier it is to transform. Also, he said you cannot really compare the old Saiyans to the new ones, like Goku and whatnot, because Goku's at this point like infinitely more stronger than the old Saiyans. The strongest Saiyan on planet Vegeta was King Vegeta, who had a power level of 10,000. And Frieza's first transform, like not the Frieza's normal form is already 500,000. So Frieza, that is why Frieza could just eliminate the entire Saiyan planet, was just, he was basically God to them. He was so much stronger than them. And that is also why he explained that none of them really achieved Super Saiyan levels, because while it is a common transformation, you gotta be at a certain strength level. And Goku, when he turned Super Saiyan, he was already past 100,000 somewhere, like 200,000. So Goku was already 10 times or 20 times stronger than the strongest Saiyan on planet Vegeta, which was King Vegeta. Which brings me to the initial point I wanted to make. If you stretch a show too long, it just gets a little bit like the power scaling makes no sense. I then asked Gemini, based on the facts that he gave me with all the power levels, could Krillin wipe out planet Vegeta? Like, if we could go back in time. And he said yes, easily. Because Krillin at this point in the show, in Super, is also in the 100,000s already. So Krillin himself, the bald human Shaolin, is already like 20 times stronger than the strongest Saiyan ever was on planet Vegeta. That's why I feel like you should end the shows at some point. It's good to end your shows, because then the power scaling just makes no sense. Goku with Ultra Instinct is now probably in the billions when it comes to power levels. Makes no sense. I'm not a huge fan of extending stories. Stories should have a start. Stories should have a finish. Stories should have a... In German we call it a Dramaturgie-Kurve. So a drama curve where you have... I'm missing all the English words, but you have your start, then you have the retardierende Moment, so the delayed... in German, in English, if I would translate it, it would probably call something like the retarded moment, meaning like not as the moment is retarded, but you drag out the climax, basically. That's what the retardierende Moment means. It's like you have a start, then you drag it out, then the climax happens, and then the curve goes down. That is, in my opinion, a perfect story, and some animes just cannot help it. They just have to add more stuff and add more stuff and add more stuff and add more stuff. At some point, let it rest, dude. Just let it rest. Dragon Ball Z was a perfect ending. Super was not needed. And Super was good. I'm not a Super hater. I'm just saying... a Super hater. I'm just saying, the same with Boruto. But at the very least, Boruto tried to like pass the torch to the next generation. It makes zero sense that Goku is still the star of the show in Dragon Ball Super and still achieves more forms. Goten and Trunks should have been the stars of Dragon Ball Super. Or maybe even their kids, like there should have been a time skip. And then, if you do this, then you can make new forms a little bit more plausible. Like this is the 5th generation of Earth Saiyans, and they are born in Super Saiyan form. Like Super Saiyan is their natural form. They're so strong because it's like the 5th generation of human Saiyans, and Super Saiyan is nothing to them. Naturally, then they can even like reach higher potentials. That's how you can explain it, in my opinion. Or easier explain it. From what I've heard, Boruto is now stronger or is about to be stronger than Naruto. Makes sense. It's the next generation. Usually next generation is usually a lot faster, smarter, sturdier than the previous generation. Maybe not for the humans, but you know what I mean. Sorry for this rant. I'm just not a huge fan of prolonging stories. Just let it go. Let it go. I would have so much more respect for you as a creator if you can let your beloved baby, which is your franchise, end properly, and then also be like, okay, this is over. If I want to do something new, it's going to be something new, not based on the old stuff. Just move on. I never really seen Dragon Ball Z. That's too bad. If you're watching a lot of animes and if you're watching a lot of shonen jumps, I feel like Dragon Ball is almost a necessity. Because almost every single shonen jump used an element that you can find in Dragon Ball. Or that was defined in Dragon Ball. Transformations is one of those. The ki blasts type of attacks. I don't know, Dragon Ball has so many like unique things. I just love Dragon Ball. If you zoom out a little bit and think about what had to go through Toriyama's mind in order to create it, it's even better. If you think about, like, Toriyama had to create a pose for the Kamehameha, for example. Like, he had to think about how that might look like, right? Or the fusion dance. You know, you probably know what the fusion dance is, even though you did not watch Dragon Ball, right? Like that came out of the mind of a person, because the fusion dance is not something that, I don't know, that you can see in nature, or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe there's some bird or something like that dances like that. But yeah, he was a genius. I seen other anime, but I don't really like the fighting animes, if that makes any sense. Oh yeah, it makes sense. It makes totally sense. It makes totally sense because anime is just an umbrella term at this point. Because anime doesn't necessarily mean Dragon Ball. Anime doesn't necessarily mean Frieren. Anime doesn't necessarily mean Death Note. So anime is just... There's so many genres out there. There's so many animes that I haven't watched. There's usually one or two genres that you fall in love with, and then you usually stick to it. At least that's what I did. I didn't even know there were multiple types of genres until, well, I got to websites that had all the animes. Because back then, when I was growing up, I did not really get to choose what kind of anime I watch. I was fed by the TV. And back then we had a bunch of variety, but we did not really make a difference. Like to me, everything was anime. For example, I started my anime career. The first anime I watched was probably Ganbare Kikazu, which is a show that I still watch occasionally. Sometimes I watch an episode or so if I want to feel a little bit of nostalgia. I also watched it with my nephew, and I will make sure that if I ever get a son, that I watch that with him too. And that was a sports anime. So now I would make the distinction. Now, with all the knowledge I have, I would say, okay, I watched the sports anime, and then I watched Dragon Ball, which is the Shonen Jump. But I also watched Ranma, for example, and Ranma is like a romance type of anime. It's also ecchi to some degree, right? So I already watched a bunch of different types of genre of anime growing up. But to me, it was all just anime. What anime movies do you like? I mean, I think I would say mostly Shonen Jumps. I think that is my go-to. But I also am currently feeling a Shonen Jump fatigue, where I cannot watch a normal Shonen Jump anymore unless it's something like Dandadan, because Dandadan is breaking all the rules of Shonen Jump. But I just cannot watch another Shonen Jump right now where the main protagonist is the underdog at first, and then he gets stronger with the power of friendship, and he never dies. None of his friends ever die. It's just something that I cannot watch right now. It's too predictable. I don't know. I describe it as Shonen Jump fatigue. That is something I'm feeling right now. I love Gintama. Gintama is a comedy / Shonen Jump with a lot of standalone episodes, but they also have arcs. So there's a start and an end with Gintama. You don't really get realize it that much because there are a lot of standalone episodes, but they have legit arcs, and once those arcs are over, you also get to see the end of all of it. So there's a story that gets told from start to finish, but in between those arcs, you just have a lot of funny standalone episodes, like super duper funny standalone episodes, and they're also self-aware, which I said yesterday, for example, that is something that I'm a huge fan of. Self-aware humor, breaking the fourth wall. Sometimes the anime characters in the show, Gintoki and I'm forgetting the name of the three protagonists. Kagura, which is the girl, and Shinpachi. Those three, they address themselves as anime characters, so they are aware that they are in a show. There's even episodes where they're saying, oh, we used to have the prime time, but because of other animes, more popular animes, they basically were now, instead of having the 7 p.m. slot or the 8 p.m. slot, they moved to 10 p.m. because they are not as popular anymore. So they are kind of aware that they are anime characters in an anime show. And that's just very funny. Gintama's good too. Yeah, Gintama is definitely on my #1 spot of animes of all time. And it shares it with Dragon Ball, but only because Dragon Ball is like, it's technically it's basically like essential to my childhood and the way I grew up, and the motivation that I got to go to like do sports and stuff like that is because of Goku. And I know for a fact that a lot of people my age who grew up with Dragon Ball felt the same thing. They got strength out of watching Goku train in the gravity chamber, or Vegeta in the gravity chamber. It's kind of weird, but Dragon Ball was had a lot of, it had us in their grasps. You know what I mean. So Dragon Ball will always stay there in my heart, but just from an overall perspective, when it comes to overall animes, I think it's Gintama for me, just because it's silly, it's funny, but it's also serious at the same time. And it just makes fun of everything. It makes fun of other animes, it makes fun of romance animes, it makes fun of other Shonen Jump animes. Lots of satire. lots of satire about things happening in Japan as well, which you don't really get when you are not Japanese. They usually give you explanations, like there's usually text on the screen that will explain, oh, they're making fun of this guy because he's a politician or a corrupt politician or stuff like that. So there are definitely situations where you don't really get, like, understand the joke as a native Japanese person. But in general, it is just so much fun. A lot of fun. And once again, the story's kind of heavy. It is kind of a story of occupation and resistance, because aliens basically invade Japan and take over the government. That's like the overarching story. It's like it's an alien invasion. And then the characters, there are characters who basically cannot really deal with that new type of governance and situation, because with the aliens also came new technology and advancements. So you basically have to consider that they basically went from samurai age to super advanced futuristic alien technology. And it's built like a soap, like a show, because there are multiple support characters. They get almost like equal amount of screen time. There's almost no episode where you don't get to see one of the other like support characters. There's so many support characters in Gintama, each following their own paths and their own goals. Each having their own character arc as well. There's like one of my favorite characters in the show is a guy called Hasegawa, who is at the beginning of the show a huge ass like government official, like with lots of influence. He's the big dog. And then he meets the main protagonist, and the moment he meets the main protagonist, his life just goes to shit. He's losing his job, he's losing his wife, he gets divorced, and like by the time you hit the 20th or 30th episode, the guy is homeless. So each character has like his own character arc, but most episodes with Hasegawa are like, some of the funniest episodes in Gintama are with Hasegawa, because he always tries to he tries to get a new job. On the way of his new job, he sees that there's a girl who's about to get run over by the train, so he's trying to help her. When he's like he's running towards her, trying to help save her life, but then he ends up tripping and holding her in a very weird situation that can be considered to be SA, because he's just holding her in a very inappropriate way because he tried to save her life. And that is happening on his way to his new job. So instead of going to his new job, he ends up in jail. And then he has to be basically, he has to go to court. And who's going to be his lawyer? It's going to be Gintoki, the main protagonist of the show, which they turn into a parody of a Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. So they're making fun of Ace Attorney, basically, in that episode. And it's just so many funny episodes where they make fun of pop culture, like gaming culture, or other animes, or politicians in Japan. It's just my #1 recommendation for people who love anime. But the thing is, you cannot watch Gintama as your first anime, because it makes fun of so many other types of anime and games, for example, that you need to understand the notion of what makes a romance anime, for example, because they make fun of it. I think I showed you that scene before where they make fun of the romance animes. So you need to have like a basic understanding of anime in general in order to appreciate Gintama more. Not saying you cannot appreciate it, it's still going to be funny to you, especially those standalone episodes. But the more anime you've watched in your life, the better Gintama will get. That's great. Yeah, it's... Maybe I can show you a scene of My first anime was Inuyasha from 2002. I never finished Inuyasha. Inuyasha was one of those shows that ran on TV that I watched, as I told you, like back in Germany, back in middle school times. They played anime from like 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And it was Inuyasha, it was Conan the Detective, it was Naruto, was One Piece. Usually, I think One Piece was the last one before Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was starting. I think One Piece was the last anime they showed before they basically turned off the anime section of the day. And Inuyasha was also one of them. But Inuyasha was one of the shows that I only like watched occasionally, because I was usually waiting for One Piece to start or Naruto, and the other animes I only like I did not really like watch it directly, or like I wasn't focusing on it, right? Was doing my homework if I ever did homework while watching it. The only ones I really paid attention to was probably Detective Conan, because Conan was pretty cool. And it's still running, by the way. It's still ongoing. Conan. Conan is another one. I mean, technically you can do Conan for as long as you like, because if you still have new ideas for crimes and how Conan solves them 20 years after it was released, or 30 years, kudos to you. But I feel like Conan is also one of those that it's time to end them, though, dude. Like, by the time he's turned back into an adult, he'll be 60. Most people who grew up watching Conan are now like in their 30s. Like, at some point, you need to end the story. That's my whole point. Don't drag out stories for too long. So, up to a point where the original crowd that started watching the show when it first came out is losing interest. You probably didn't know that Conan is still ongoing. And for everyone who doesn't know what Conan is, he's a detective. Very young, brilliant detective mind who gets involved into a crime he shouldn't be involved in, and then those people grab him, give him a pill, and that pill turns him into a boy. So he basically gets de-aged from 17, I believe, back to an 8-year-old or 9-year-old, and then he solves crime as a 9-year-old. But nobody knows that it's him solving the crime, because every single time a crime happens, the father of his girlfriend, or what used to be his girlfriend, now it's not his girlfriend anymore because he's a child again. The father of his girlfriend is a detective. And every time a crime happens, Conan, the kid, and the detective happen to be on the crime scene. And he is using his super nice detective gadgets to basically make the detective, like the father of his girlfriend, unconscious. He's sedating him, basically. And then he'll speak through a speaker, so it looks like the detective is speaking and not the kid, Conan. And he's been doing that for 40 years now. Let him turn into an adult again. Let him live his life, dude. But Inuyasha was also pretty cool. He was like half demon, half human. But I don't know how it ended, because I never really watched it from start to finish. Start to finish, start to end. Inuyasha. Why did I go to YouTube? I wanted to show you something on YouTube. What did I talk about? Oh yeah, Gintama. What did I wanted to show you? Oh yeah. Gintama. Objection. There was a final act one? Okay, let me show you this part of Gintama. I will probably get copyright striked, but it's I don't want to spoil anything because I feel like you should still watch Gintama. Please watch Gintama, but during the court session, they find the huge corn collection of Hasegawa, the guy who's homeless and falsely accused of SA. And then at some point they stop the trial to watch the corn videos. That's Gintama for you. I love Gintama. It's funny. It's a funny show. You should watch it. But once again, I kid you not, it's probably something you don't like to hear. But it takes some time until all the characters and their arcs are being introduced. So at first you're gonna be introduced to the main protagonist, or the main three protagonists, you have to say, because it's not just one person that is carrying the show. It's actually three plus the support cast. So the first few episodes are spent on the three, and then slowly but surely, like, all the other support cars are being introduced, and then I would say around episode 10-ish or 15-ish, I don't remember anymore, you should get the idea of what Gintama is, and then it gets better and better and better and better. So you really, really, really need to watch Gintama. It's so much fun. Lots of funny standalone episodes, and then you have arcs as well. And the arcs are usually on the more, like, serious side. Usually. And Gintama is also one of those rare shows where everything comes full circle at the end. Like, the end of Gintama really moved me, because it made sense, and it was a very wholesome, heartwarming realization and moment. Very good from start to finish. So please check out Gintama. And to get back to your original question, Hannah, yeah, those are the types of anime I like the most. The ones who are a little bit self-aware, who are also serious, but also funny. But I also like my drama thriller type animes. For example, Death Note. Code Geass is also one of those who are very drama heavy or thriller heavy. So I like those too. And I gotta be honest with you, I also watched some romance anime in back in the day, probably. Also watched some ecchi ones. Ecchi ones are I don't know how do you like describe ecchi? What is ecchi? Like very, very sexual but not corn? Is that what ecchi means? Perverted? I don't know how to describe it, but there used to be a show I watched which I absolutely fell in love with because of the plot, believe it or not. Yes, there was booba as well, lots of booba, lots of ass. But the plot was nice. It was called High School of the Dead, which was a typical, high school anime, but a zombie apocalypse happening. And around the time that came out, I think The Walking Dead was also starting, so a huge zombie wave in media. And it was pretty good. Not only did it look fantastic, and I mean that show's from 2013 or 12, and it would still hold up to this day. It was just very, very crisp visuals. It was brutal as well, like a typical zombie show. Zombie virus breaks out while the main protagonist and his friends are at school, and it's just super brutal. Unfortunately, it never came to a season 2 because the guy who invented the manga, he passed away. If you don't know what High School of the Dead is, you still probably have seen a video or a clip of it on Twitter, because there's one particular clip that everyone always posts from that show, from that particular show, because it is very ridiculous. It's a scene from when they get attacked by zombies, and then the main protagonist shoots a sniper bullet, or like he shoots with a sniper rifle, and then they show like the trajectory of that sniper bullet, and that sniper bullet like goes through the boobs, basically the cleavage of one of the characters, and then it moves through the thighs of another character. So it completely ridiculous and over the top sexual, and that is the one clip that everyone always posts of that show. But trust me, if you remove all the sexual stuff, it's like on the surface, it's still a fantastic show. I don't think there is one anime that has ever done zombie apocalypse the way High School of the Dead did it. Very realistic in terms of if you compare it to like zombie movies or zombie shows. Like the moment the virus breaks out, the brutality of it, people backstabbing each other to survive. Very, very good show. And overly sexual as well, for some odd reason. If I had to describe the show, I would probably say, like with words, sexual and gore. Those are very strong words that probably describe the show very well. But also fantastic story and good animation. The only anime movie I've seen with zombie in it is Zoom 100. I haven't watched Zoom 100. Is it good? For a long time, I was a huge fan of zombie movies and shows, because like one of my favorite settings is apocalypse, whether that's the natural disaster or virus taking over, because I'm always like interested in the what comes after, right? There used to be a fantastic documentary series on a channel in German TV called N26, N24, sorry. And they showed like a series of 100 years. It was called 100 Years After Humans. So they showed big cities like New York, for example, and they theorized that, oh, if the cats would evolve, right? The cats who live in skyscrapers and whatnot, like theoretically, if they could evolve in just 100 years, which is not enough to mutate, I guess. I mean, mutations can always happen, but in their theoretical mind, those cats living in the skyscrapers and creating like colonies in those skyscrapers would invent the wingsuits. You know, like not wings, but you know how some squirrels have these, you know, what wingsuits are based on. So basically, cats at some point would fly around from skyscraper to skyscraper, or glide, not fly, but glide. And that is why I just love the idea of theorizing what happens after the humans are gone, because eventually we will be gone. I don't think any species, whether that's the human race or cats, will live longer than like 1,000 years or so. We'll see. I mean, some animal will, or some species will prevail, but I don't think it's gonna be humans. Not really, so it wasn't good. I'm so hesitant in trying new animes because I'm a habit, an animal of habits. I would rather, and I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry for our OG viewers, but It's just the way I am. I would rather watch a show I already know twice or 3 times before starting a new one. So, if I'm gonna start a new show, you can bet your ass it's usually exceptional. When I'm talking about a new show I watch, you can be sure that it is so good that I did not watch a show that I usually that I know a 4th time or 5th time, and I started a new one. That means something. If I give you my approval, it means something. What is everyone's favorite show? And now that we're talking about anime or just IRL, you can also give me your IRL show. What is your all-time favorite? Not... Don't do it like me where I say like, oh, my favorite is this one, but it also shares the favorite spot with that one. Give me a definite answer. Have you seen Haikyuu? A little bit. I've watched the first 3 episodes. It is very good. Probably the best sports anime out there when it comes to animation. But I'm more of a I'm a soccer fan. So not really interested in volleyball, but it is good. It is a good sports anime. There's still so many animes on my list that I need to watch. I still haven't watched Solo Leveling. And Solo Leveling is getting its own game as well. Need to watch Solo Leveling. Same. Blue Lock is a soccer anime. I have watched Blue Lock. I've watched the first season and the second season. The first season I watched with my nephew. The second season we watched like the first few episodes together. And then when everyone started like bashing the animation, I watched the rest of it, and it got a little bit better towards the end. But the animation of season 2 is terrible, 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 terrible. I still think to this day that Captain Tsubasa. Yeah, Captain Tsubasa 2018, like the remaster of the remaster, probably has the best soccer animation. No, it's Blue Lock Season 1. Definitely, this one goes to them. And then you can forget about Season 2, and then the rest is like Captain Tsubasa. I wish they would remake Tsubasa once again. They tried in 2018, but I don't think Tsubasa's that popular anymore, unfortunately. The kids have moved on. Tsubasa was the GOAT when I was growing up. Like the top spin, everyone wanted to do the top spin, or the Tigerschuss, the tiger shot from Hyuga. Kids moved on. Kids want to be Blue Lock characters now. There is a Blue Lock type game coming out soon. It's called Rematch. I played the beta and it is fantastic. And you can bet your ass that they are gonna have Blue Lock collaborations. 100%. This game is so perfect for it. They already gonna have a collaboration with not Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldinho. When the game comes out, that was already confirmed. There's gonna be 3 icons in the store when the game comes out. Ronaldinho, Ter Stegen, the goalkeeper, and then the third one I forgot. But if a Rematch actually gets a following and people will play it long term, we can definitely. I can bet my ass we're gonna have a Blue Lock collaboration. I know Demon Slayer is top #1. I mean, right now, have you watched the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, Hannah? Because right now, the undisputed king of all animes is apparently Solo Leveling. I haven't watched Solo Leveling yet, but Solo Leveling got Anime of the Year. It also got Best Score of the Year. Or Best Score in Anime. It also got Best Main Character, I believe, in anime. So it got like 3 or 4 awards. I need to start watching Solo Leveling because I highly doubt that it is that good. It's probably good, but is it that good? I haven't watched it yet, so it's hard for me to judge, but I can almost guarantee you that it's not gonna blow me away like Dandadan did. Well, till they make the movie. I mean, Demon Slayer also, yeah, it was the #1 before, but Demon Slayer also got a bunch of awards in the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. I think they grabbed Best Animation again. Best Animation and some other Best Movie. I think they also grabbed Best Movie. Wait, I can actually look it up. The winners should still be there, right? Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Do we get to see the winners? View winners. Oh yeah, okay. We can just run through that real quick. YouTube show. Boop, boop, boop. Look at this. Anime of the Year went to Solo Leveling. And then Film of the Year was Look Back. Best Continuing Series. That is the one that Demon Slayer won. Kimetsu no Yaiba. Hashira. Training Arc. Best New Series went to Solo Leveling. Best Original Anime went to Ninja Kamui. Best Animation, Demon Slayer again. Best Character Design, Dandadan. I agree. Cool character design. When we were reacting live to it, someone said that people don't like Okarun because he's a nerd. I strongly disagree with that. I mean, yes, he's a nerd, but that's the whole point of... Like, if you watch the first episode, you have basically nerd introvert clashing with extrovert who also secretly is a nerd. So they had like a perfect match. You gotta watch Dandadan. Awesome. Best director was Keiichiro Saito from Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Frieren is another one of those I still have to watch. Yeah. Best background art went to Frieren. Best romance, Blue Box. I haven't watched that one. Blue Box. What is it with the color blue? Blue Lock. Blue Box. Is there like a deeper meaning in Japan or Japanese culture with blue? I mean, blue means, like, I know like the color psychology behind blue. Blue is usually calm. It's deep. So it makes sense if you make deep connections that you take something like the color blue. But maybe there's something deeper to it that you only understand when you're Japanese. Best comedy, Mashal, Magic and Muscles, the Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc. Cool. Best action, Solo Leveling. I guess that is alright. Best Isekai anime is Re:Zero. Best drama, Frieren. best slice of life. Make ine. Too many losing heroines. Difficult. Best main character. Now this one was Cap. I know I haven't watched Solo Leveling yet, but there were other. Look at the nominees for best character. He had Momo. I feel like Momo is one of the. Both Momo and Okarun could have won this. I feel like Momo is a very interesting female character. And I also some trivia, some additional knowledge that I read about Momo. It's a little bit sad because it shows you how sexist and misogynistic like some industries still are. I've read that the mangaka, like the person who created Dandadan, basically had to create Okarun and had to sell the manga as Okarun being the main protagonist so he can slip through Momo. Because Momo as the main protagonist would have not been approved. So in order to make Momo work, he had to slip in Okarun. Or she. I think the mangaka is like is a woman. Might be wrong though. But that is something I read. I also cannot tell you whether that's confirmed knowledge that I'm dropping right now. Might be some bullshit someone invented on Twitter. But if it's true, that's kind of wild, because I feel like Momo is such an interesting character that she should have been enough on her own. His glow up was insane. Yeah, Okarun, I like both of them, to be honest. But to be totally honest with you, I like Momo more than Okarun. I think Momo has a little bit more depth as a character. Okay, but he shouldn't have won this. I don't know. I'm saying this without having watched Solo Leveling. So maybe he's a deeper character or better character than all of them. Might be true. I don't know. I'll find out when I watch Solo Leveling. Fern, what was this? Best supporting character? Okay, I cannot judge that because I haven't watched Frieren. By the time the next anime awards happen next year in 2026, I will make sure to watch all the banger animes so I can judge properly and also can call out the bullshit when I see it. Because right now I cannot really say anything because I don't know this character, so I cannot really say, hey, she wasn't really the best supporting character. I don't know. She might have been. Must protect at all costs character. Anya Forger. Spy Family, which I also haven't watched yet. I mean, Okarun is kind of silly because the only thing that you really need to protect Okarun from is his self-doubt and his lack of self-confidence, which Momo does a lot. Momo understands when Okarun tries to be the man and then he isn't, and he feels very... what is it called? Emasculated? Like, she's a very nice girl. She's pushing his ego when she needs to, and she's also stomping on top of his head when his ego gets too big. She basically what is the word? She keeps him in line. That's what I love about Momo. Just like in a real relationship, usually the woman, for some reason, keeps you on track. She's the voice of reason. But she can also be super unreasonable and emotional. That's why I love the dynamic of Okarun and Momo a lot, because it is really almost like a stereotypical teenage romance that you can see in them, and there are situations where you can also see yourself, your experience seeing in them, even though it's like in a very exaggerated moment. So it's not very close to reality, but the analogies, I would say, like the things that they're experiencing is sometimes connects with reality, and that's what I like about Dandadan so much. Anya reminds me of another anime movie called Buddy Daddies, that little small girl. I don't know that one. But I know that Anya is super duper popular. Okay, best anime song. We watched that one live. That is definitely justified. I mean, you can, just from an objective standpoint, you can, if you look up the theme song of Dandadan on YouTube, it has like 50 million views or something like that, which I feel like is kind of odd for an anime opening. Best score, Solo Leveling. I did not agree with that either. Best opening sequence, Dandadan. Definitely deserved. Best ending sequence, I cannot tell. I'm usually not a huge fan of the endings songs. There are some exceptions. Gintama, for example, has a dope as opening sequence and a dope as ending sequence from a band that I can wholeheartedly recommend, called Spire, I believe, or Spare. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll get back to you. I know Solo Leveling also had Lisa and Felix from SKZ in it. SKZ? Which one is that? It sounds so familiar. There is an anime which was very similar to Gintama, which I never got into. I never watched it, but they also had a cameo in Gintama. I think it was Skit Dance or Sket Dance, which was also like a very self-aware comedy anime, which I never really watched. Oh, Stray Kids. Okay. There's one anime called Sket Dance or Skit Dance or something like that, which was very similar. I think it was from the same studio, I guess, which made Gintama as well, and that's why they had a collaboration. But they were also very like self-aware, and it was a comedy anime as well. But I never really got into it for some reason. Best voice artist performance, Aoi Yuki. Okay. Hiba Snowbar. Best voice artist performance, Arabic. Ah, okay. Those are the voice actors. Okay, Brazilian, Portuguese, Spanish, English, French, German. German? Daniel Schlauch. I mean, his voice is pretty nice. The guy who's voicing Luffy. He has a very recognizable, a very distinct voice. And I'm watching... It's probably the only thing related to anime that I'm watching in the original language still, and not original language, with a German dub, and that's the One Piece live action. The One Piece live action has all the voice actors from the One Piece anime. Okay, more voice actors. Okay, we don't care about that, and that's the end. Okay, that was all of it. That was pretty nice. Boop, boop. And we're back in our room. Okay, how long have we been gone? How are we live for 3 hours already? How did that happen? What did we talk about for the last 3 hours? Like, seriously, what did we talk about the last 3 hours? We talked a little bit about, I mean, the anime awards. We watched cat videos. Gojo, because you're king of Yap. Yeah, but I also am king of short-term memory, or memory loss, I guess. I honestly cannot tell you what we talked about, other than the last thing I have in my memory was the cat video compilation that we watched. Oh, and I showed you a little bit of Gintama. You know what? At some point I will just risk it, and we're gonna watch one Gintama episode on Twitch. I cannot do that on YouTube. On YouTube, we will definitely get in trouble. On Twitch, we can basically fly a little bit under the radar. We're just gonna watch it. Who's gonna stop us? Gojo is one of my favorite characters as well. But I already told you, I mean, that's the reason why I went with a white-haired VTuber as well. Not solely the reason, there's more to it, obviously. Because everything I do always has like 15 different steps behind it. So there's more to this design, but mainly I was inspired by a lot of the white-haired characters. Kakashi. The base of this model is from Minato. I'm gonna show you an image of Minato for everyone who hasn't watched Naruto, so you know who Minato is. And you cannot even see the resemblance anymore, which is weird, because the first few sketches were pretty much Minato in a different skin, and I told the artist, like, okay, I wanted you to get inspired by Minato, but not straight up copy it. Like, this is a little bit too far, but yeah, this is Minato. If you don't know. Yondaime, the 4th Hokage, who was fast as lightning. I wish we would have seen a little bit more of the older Hokages. Like Hashirama, we saw a little bit of him. Then the Mizukage. No, not Mizu. No, what was his name? The 2nd Hokage, the water guy. Coolest dude ever. And then Minato as well. They died in a very tragic way. Minato and his wife. My wife. Yeah, I wish we would have seen a little bit more of that. We only got some glimpses. You know, that is what they should have explored, in my opinion. Instead of doing Boruto and basically telling the same story with some slight differences all over and over again, I feel like once you finish a story, you can start exploring prequels, side quests, side stories. Basically Star Wars. You know how Star Wars basically was finished and then they started exploring other things? And then afterwards they did a new trilogy which everyone hated. This is what you get. If you finish a story, there's still a lot of things you can do with that story. Prequels. What happened before the story happened, right? What happened with a certain character which was essential to the story but not the main character of the story? How did he end up there? Like, they could have done so many things. They went with the cheapest option. Just continuing the story. With Boruto. Boruto-sama. Alright. Hey. It's crazy how much getting rid of color in your character's eyes changes the look, right? I mean, it doesn't change it drastically, but I do look different. Just compare it. So much more life when you have the colors. It's like taking drugs. I'm at school, I'm on the bus. Cool. On your way home? I gotta go, my bus is leaving. Also, Catboy Jinyo. Okay, thank you for stopping by, Cloudy. And have a safe ride home. I mean, your bus driver in this case. It's not you that is driving, unless... I was so fortunate that I usually, for most of my life, lived very close to the school up until like the later years. The later years, I had to take the bus because I went for a duration, like from 10th grade to 11th grade. I went to school in a different town, so I had to take the bus. But usually, my commute from school to my place was 20 minutes, and I could walk. And I did prefer to walk, even though I had a bike, because those 20 minutes was my time. It was my time alone. It was me also preparing mentally for school. So I had my playlist with the songs I loved. Sometimes, like later in those years, when I started pursuing a music career as well, I had a bunch of instrumentals. I went through ideas of songs, like song ideas on the way to school. That was the most therapeutic time I had probably my entire life. Like, even now I don't have those 20 minutes because I work from home, which now with the experience I have, it's the worst thing that you can do. I totally understand the perks of being in an office. It's the worst thing in the world. But just walking to school was awesome. I'm going to take my leave now. It was nice chatting with you, Jinyo. Likewise, and discovering you on YouTube. Thanks for the anime chat. No, thank you for being here and finding me first and foremost. I don't know how that happens. But I guess the algorithm finally started to realize what kind of community I like to build and what kind of people I would love to join our community. But I appreciate you being here, having a chat with me and everyone else. And we see each other tomorrow. Or the day after tomorrow. Or, you know, whenever you can. Perks of being on YouTube is that you'll always have the VODs, even if you don't catch the streams live. There's always going to be a VOD for you. For the Twitch people, not so much. Unfortunately. If you want a VOD, hop on over to YouTube. I need those watch hours. That's the only reason I'm doing it. This is not for convenience sake. I'm just forcing everyone who missed the stream to move over to YouTube so I can get some watch hours. Bye bye, take care. Hannah. That, and also the reason, because sometimes we watch copyrighted materials. But I also like realized that someone on Twitter said that they got rejected for the partner program because Twitch told them, wait, let me just show you the tweet. Rejected Twitch VODs. Apparently, you have to have VODs on your Twitch channel in order to get accepted. So if we ever get close to partner, I will definitely do VODs again on Twitch. Like save them, actually save them. I didn't know that. Let me show you. Here. Yeah, she typed, I waited 2 months for my partner application. Partner pushed while I had COVID, which prolonged my sickness for a month. I feel like I was unfairly rejected. Wait. This is not the one I was talking about. This is the one. I looked at one that, at a tweet that was 3 years old. No, this is the one I saw. This is one from 3 days ago. I was denied partner last month for not having past streams saved. You asked me to archive some and reply. I did and never heard back. This month I streamed 14 times with 75 plus average viewers and still got auto-rejected. Please Twitch, can a real person look at my application? So that is good to know. If we ever get close to this number of average viewers on Twitch, then I'll someone needs to remind me to make sure that we save past streams. I guess they do that. It makes sense. I guess when you apply for partner, they want to look through your content and what type of content you make. So I guess that rule makes a lot of sense. If there's nothing that they can look at, how can they tell that you are, I don't know, a suitable candidate for their partner program? Yeah, but I doubt that it will happen on Twitch. I hope that we'll at some point get partner on YouTube. But Twitch, like 75 average, mind you, it's average viewers, not just 75. It's average, an average of 75. That's gonna be rough. That's already like top 1% territory. People don't know how many channels and how many people are streaming to less than 10 people. It's like 80% or even more than 80%. So if you get past the 20 or 30 viewer mark, you're already playing in the big leagues on Twitch. It is such a small number compared to the people who stream to 10 or less viewers. It's crazy. But Twitch is still cool. It's the best platform for live streaming, and I'm also happy that we have our emotes back, and I have accepted a lot of things, and now I can build upon a future again. You know what I mean? Like in the past, I was like, oh, maybe we'll go to YouTube exclusively, never return to Twitch, or maybe we stay on Twitch, never go to YouTube. Now that I know that I'll stay on both of these platforms for as long as we can, I can now finally think ahead a little bit and also like start commissioning new emotes again and stuff like that. So having a little bit of Gewissheit. What is Gewissheit? Certainty. Having a little bit of certainty is always good. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna grow. There's something inside of me that tells me that because it's I'm happy to have emotes again. Yeah. This is one of those things where I feel like YouTube is shooting themselves in the foot. Because if you want to make people stream on YouTube, why not give them the ability to have like some sort of community identity? They don't even have an About You section. They have nothing compared to Twitch. So at least give us our own emotes so people can basically identify each other, maybe in other people's YouTube chats, right? Because that is one of those strong things, that those community building tools that Twitch has, like raiding someone and then using your own raid emote to be like, hey, this is our community, what's up? This is such a cool thing. It's building a little bit of like community, and it's also building like a special bond. You have none of that on YouTube. And once again, this is my tinfoil head argument. I don't think YouTube likes live streamers. I think they're looking at live streaming as a very objective thing, and they see that people stream 3 to 4 hours on average. That's a lot of bandwidth, and that's very expensive. I think they would rather have more like short users, because those are short videos and short files, which is less server cost, I guess, and maintenance. They like to see more people in the 10-minute video range, or 10 to, let's say, 30-minute or 1 hour max. I think that is why YouTube is not pushing for any live stream like advancements. I can totally. We are not stupid, right? Like YouTube is a mega company. They have billions upon billions of dollars. They can build something like Twitch overnight, like literally overnight. The reason why they are not doing it is because they probably don't see a lot of benefits in having a bunch of like 3 to 4, like on Twitch, once again, like 80% of people are sitting below 10 viewers, and that would probably not be very cost efficient for YouTube, even if they play ads on those streams. But those streams, the streams cost will be more than what they would get in return for with ads. So it would just be a loss. I think that is why YouTube is not really pushing for streams. They gave people the bare minimum and that's it, and I think that's all they wanted. They didn't want to leave the streaming cake to Twitch alone, so they did live streaming, but they're totally happy with the 10% market share, whatever it is they have. And I don't think they want to be the #1 option for live streaming, because live streaming, once again, it's very expensive. It's the encoding is super expensive. The files. You have a 12-hour stream that's like, depending on what type of bandwidth you are streaming at, even if it's 1080p and 60 FPS, there's gonna be multiple gigabytes of data from one person. Just one person. Look how many people are streaming on Twitch every single day. There's hundreds of thousands of gigabytes uploaded onto Twitch's servers, and that's just, they don't really get a lot in return, other from the top 1% who will have the subscription split, right? That is why I think sooner or later the Prime subscription will disappear. I don't think Prime subscription will stay there forever. It's just, it doesn't make sense from like a Twitch and Amazon, which is the parent company, perspective. They're basically paying in their own pockets. They're given half of the Prime subscription, half of it goes to the streamer, right? The other half is basically Amazon paying Twitch. It's like subsidized. And it makes zero sense if you want to be profitable. So Amazon Prime 100% is going to be, not Amazon Prime, I mean Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime is going to disappear as a perk. It's not like people are getting Amazon Prime so they can use Twitch Prime. So Twitch Prime, I don't think, is a main contributor or like a main incentive for buying Twitch Prime or getting into the Twitch Prime subscription. It's the other way around. You get Twitch Prime and then, oh, you realize, oh, you get the perks of also subscribing to someone for free on Twitch. It's not the other way around. So I hope it doesn't happen, but I think there's like zero chance that Prime subscriptions are here to stay. Which also sucks for all the full-time streamers, because a lot of them rely on the revenue, on the subscription revenue. And if they cut down the Twitch Prime subscription, I think a lot of mid-size streamers will either need to find a new way to monetize, or they probably have to go back on like maybe doing this part-time. But full-time without the Prime subscription, I think it's gonna be rough. Because there's a difference in just giving someone like money for free, right? For something you get anyways with your Amazon Prime, than to pay, which is now I believe $6, or is it more than that? Is it $7? They increased the prices a couple of times. So I don't know where the prices are right now. I think in dollars it's close to $7, right? How much is a subscription? Let me just go to a random channel. Let's go to Pokimane. Pokemon. Subscribe. Okay, in German it's 5 euros. How much is 5 euros in dollars? 5 euro dollar. 5.7. Okay, $5.70. How much is a Twitch sub price America? Tier 1 is $6. Okay, that's, I mean, that's more than 5, but I thought it was at 7 at this point. 6 is still manageable, unless you follow multiple people. Like, imagine. Because right now, if you follow 2 channels at the same time, you can... Madara-sama! Oh no! Madara-sama, he's back! Mangekyu! Sharingan! Oh, fuck. Wrong button. Mangekyo. Sharingan. Paching. Just pretend that this is Sharingan. Hello, Madara. Welcome. Welcome. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. That's cool. It's not actually the Sharingan. That's my normal pupil color. I just removed it. Like, usually I look like this, but for the month of June, I'm gonna be a cat boy. I know, but it looks cool. Thank you. Welcome, Madara-sama. I assume you're a huge fan of Naruto? That's supposed to be his normal eyes. I feel like... Are cat boys that much more popular? I feel like the cat ears are definitely doing something. It cannot be just me, right? I'm not watching a lot of anime right now. That's totally fine. That is totally fine. Life can get busy. Watching anime is definitely something that you need to dedicate a lot of time to. Especially if it's good animes and then you start to binge watch them. That's not a good thing. That happened with me with Orb and Dandadan. I watched Dandadan within a week. I think I even finished it on a weekend. Thankfully, when Dandadan, when I discovered Dandadan, I was sick. Thankfully, Lady Jin has transferred her viruses into my body, so I couldn't do anything. I was lying in bed and I was watching anime. That was so good. There's no good anime nowadays. No, there is. 100%. It's like the people who are saying there's no good games out there. There are good games, but it requires a lot of time to find them now. Like indie studios. Best games these days are coming out of indie studios. Not those AAA titles anymore. Like Expedition 33. We saw one trailer of it. Then it was released. We started playing it. And it's the best game in the world. Or one of the best games. There's no good animes nowadays unless if you watch them all. I mean, I totally get that. Not with animes. But I see your problem. Like if you watch a lot of animes, that kick that you get from novelty, that is gone. I described something like that as Shonen Jump fatigue. Because I cannot watch Shonen Jumps anymore right now. Because it's like... It's not the same. Not every Shonen Jump is not the same. But they do follow a similar formula. And if you're sick of seeing that formula... It's kind of rough getting into one. And the same could probably be said about romance animes, right? I'm not into romance animes. But if you watch a lot of them... And a new romance anime comes out... They probably have the very similar tropes. So you can definitely get tired... You can get tired of tropes and genres. Watching Windbreaker right now. Is that an anime? Or is it... Or do you mean Zelda? Zelda the Windbreaker. Oh no, it was Wind Waker. Not Windbreaker. It's an anime. Windbreaker. Let me see. Windbreaker. Description, action, comedy, fighting shonen, high school. Okay. It looks like... what was the name of that show? I didn't watch it. Tokyo something. It looks like it. A little version of Tokyo. Dude! I just based on the looks, I said it looks like Tokyo Revengers. just from an optical standpoint, it looked like it. Okay. I'm adding that to the list because I also want to watch Tokyo Revengers. That freaking list will never... I don't think I'll ever get through the list. It's one anime after another. Still have to watch Solo Leveling. Did she agree for solo leveling winning anime of the year? Do you agree? Do you think that was justified or not? So funny how much I talk about anime when I watch like a new anime every 5 months. I don't care, I just want to enjoy. Okay, I understand. So you enjoy the anime itself and you don't really care about the talk around it. Like whether they win awards or not. That is a very good perspective to have, because awards don't mean anything. Whether you have 6 championships like Michael Jordan or just 4. For some people, LeBron James is still better than Michael Jordan. It's not always about those awards. Charles Barkley has 0 championships. Would you say Charles Barkley is a bad basketball player? Or was a bad one? No. Oops. I have no trophies. But I would say I was a pretty good soccer player. Never on a pro level. But I think on a casual level I maxed out when it came to soccer, because I was never really serious about it. Maybe for 2 years. When the window was still open to go pro. When the hope was still there. Once the hope was crushed, once you realized that, hey man, it requires a miracle for you to still get scouted at this age. Like 16 is already, that's already old to be scouted. There are some exceptions, obviously. Like I can remember like one particular exception, which was Bastian Schweinsteiger, who turned out to be like, he ended up winning the World Cup in 2014 and also playing for Bayern Munich and winning Champions League. Exceptional career. But he was scouted at like 22 or something. That never happens. That probably only happened once, and that was him. The moment I hit my 20s, I was like, that's it. There is no shot. Actually, the moment I hit my 16th birthday, I was like, okay, there is definitely no shot in the pro career anymore. Maybe semi-pro. Semi-pro was still on the table, but not pro anymore. I was saying I found a great song. The lyrics are French and a little Algerian, but the video clip was something I can't forget. Okay, you can if you want to, you can join our Discord community, Madara, and then send it into our reaction channel. I'm currently live on YouTube as well, so I cannot really like look at random stuff that people suggest. It's not safe. But I need to take the reaction channel a little bit seriously on Discord. In the past, I told people, oh, I just post it on the reaction channel and eventually I'll react to it. And then the list goes on and nothing happens. Do we still have a Discord command? Does the link work? Wait, do we still have a reaction channel? Oh yeah, we have a reaction channel. Good. But the reaction stuff have to be on topic to some degree. Like they have to be something about like either like gaming, VTubing, anime, something that I'm also a little bit knowledgeable about, at least, so I can give a little bit of commentary. But there should also be a day, maybe once I get a little bit back on track on Twitch, we can also have a day on Twitch exclusively where we just watch random stuff, like where I go through the queue of reaction videos. Yeah, we should do that. But for now, let's keep our... I don't know. I wanted to like say a phrase, but I cannot think of a phrase. Let's walk in small cars. Let's walk on small streets first before we go to the main highway with great intersections. God. Where are you from, Madara? You mentioned French. Are you from France? Perhaps? Are you French? Mes amis? Mon frère? Tu es... français? I don't know any French. This is so sad. I'm so glad that my French teacher cannot see me. She would be so disappointed. Like, what the hell did I teach you for 7 years? 7 years of French, and I don't know shit. Bag. Oh, you were not there for my French question. I was asking whether you are from France. Like, where are you from? Algeria. Nice. That's very cool. Is France the national? I mean, it's also Arabic, right? But or Algerian. But is France like the national language? I know that Algeria used to be a French colony. Je parle un peu de français. It's Arabic. I don't speak Arabic. I'm sorry. Also, I was lying. I don't speak a little bit of French. No. I was just misleading. I had 7 years of French in school, but I don't know anything. I know a couple of words and the typical stuff like ça va and je m'appelle. Je m'appelle Jinyo. Ça va? Oh oui, ça va bien. Merci. Comment tu t'appelles? That's it. And occasionally I still recognize a word or something like that. Like the other day I saw a word, I was like, oh, I know this. Aujourd'hui. I was like, I know that word. I had a Spanish crash course, and I can guarantee you I know more Spanish than French. And I had French in school for 7 years. But French is it's so complicated, man. The grammar is so terrible. Bonjour, je m'appelle Adem. Oh, nice to meet you, Adem. You should probably not dox your real name. Just to be safe. Unless you're comfortable with it. I hope that's not your government name. I hope that's just a nickname. And if it's not, we can delete that message, don't worry. I don't care. You should care. It's the internet. People are crazy. They connect 2 dots and then all of a sudden they know where you live. Earlier today I doxed my IP. So if I would be a bigger streamer, thankfully, I swear to God, I don't mean that in a bad way or negative way, but thankfully we are at our size right now, because I would have doxed my ass a couple of hours ago. My IP address was on full display. Yeah, and I was live on 2 platforms at the same time. That's even worse. Like I'm also currently live on YouTube, by the way. I'll try my best to multi-stream. Like every time I go live, I want to multi-stream. But on some days, it would be a little bit smarter to be live on Twitch only and not YouTube. Because YouTube is a little bit stricter when it comes to copyright and reactions and whatnot. Actually, YouTube isn't the best place to stream in. Oh yeah, I know 100%. The only reason why I went to YouTube exclusively, I would always like switch. I started out on Twitch, and then, you know, the time when everyone started going over to YouTube, like Ludwig and Valkyrie, Tim the Tapman, Dr. Diddler respect, Dr. P. Diddy respect. Around that time, everyone went over to YouTube. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's smarter to go over to YouTube as well, because there's like less competition and there's an algorithm. I can do thumbnails. There's an algorithm that helps me grow. Around that time, I also started streaming less, and my streaming schedule became super volatile. So I was like, okay, for that, YouTube is probably the best idea. Because on Twitch, you gotta be consistent. I mean, you gotta be consistent on YouTube as well. But YouTube is a little bit more forgiving when you're not like consistent, because there's still an algorithm that will help you out. Because right now, for example, for the past few days, I did not upload a new YouTube short. I also did not upload a new YouTube video. Yet my old videos and shorts still get views. Not a lot, mind you, but they still get views. On Twitch, the moment you're offline, your channel is dead. Try to do Twitch and Kick. No. I definitely, it's gotta be Twitch and YouTube, or like YouTube and TikTok, or something in that combination, because I need YouTube. YouTube's gotta be the main growth factor, because YouTube, once again, has the algorithm, has the videos, has the shorts, etc, etc, etc. Kick and Twitch, or any similar platform to them, do not have a growth system outside of their own platform. Plus, they don't have an algorithm. They have a hierarchy system. So the more viewers you have, the higher you are in the hierarchy. Kick is just another Twitch with a different crowd. And YouTube sucks for live streaming. I 100% agree with you, but I'm not on YouTube because the live streaming is so good. I'm on YouTube because of, well, YouTube's algorithm is just fantastic. But pretty much everyone, but for someone like me, I watch streams only on Twitch, and I don't have TikTok. I mean, yeah, that's fine. We are on Twitch and YouTube, so you should be fine when it comes to our streams. But the streams will be saved on YouTube. Like, there's no way that you will be able to watch the VOD afterwards unless you go to YouTube. And I 1000% understand that people prefer watching streams on Twitch, because Twitch is just the best platform for streaming. It has so many cool interactive features. It has the community emotes. It has the like the plugins, like what was it called, like 7TV or whatever it's called. There's like the culture on Twitch is different. On YouTube doesn't have that yet, or maybe they never will. YouTube doesn't really have a live streaming community. The people who watch streams on YouTube are the same people who would usually watch videos on YouTube. But on Twitch, people go specifically to Twitch to watch live streams, so it's a completely different mindset. It's completely normal for the average Twitch viewer to watch something for 3 hours plus. That's not the case for the average like YouTube viewer, because YouTube viewers are very used to 10-minute videos, maybe even shorter than that. So watching a 3-hour live stream is just not in the DNA of the typical YouTube viewer. But on Twitch, everyone who goes on Twitch already expects to spend 4 hours in someone's live stream. Whether that's just passively while doing work, or actively being part of chat. It's just a completely different crowd. Why did the music disappear? Oh, wait. You already joined our Discord. Crazy. Why are you Mr. Sasuke on Discord and you're Madara on on Twitch? You gotta decide on one of those Uchihas. I would like to watch a 24-hour stream. I mean, I'm slowly getting back into the Twitch grind. I will not confirm nor deny a 24-hour stream, but I never in my entire career, in quotation marks career as a streamer, I never really did a 24-hour stream. I never did a subathon. I never did anything that a typical streamer would do. Not even for our anniversaries, but our 5-year anniversary is coming up. And you can bet your ass we're gonna do something. Like, there's gotta be something that we're gonna do. It's time. Everyone else had their fun. It's time for us to have fun too. My old name on Twitch was also Sasuke. Oh, I understand. Not something, it's something. We will see what that something will be. For now, I just want to... like a big thing. I mean, is a 24-hour stream big? I don't even know what is big these days. If you have like people like Kaisenet, they're doing something crazy every single month. So the bar is raising every single month. Yes and no. Yeah, I guess it depends on how you implement it, right? Kai sleeps in the streams just to not stop it. I mean, I can easily do that as well because I'm a VTuber. But I don't think that's gonna be very interesting for you to watch a 2D model sleep. That's the thing. Like, I can totally do a 7-day stream marathon, but I don't think it will be as thrilling as seeing a real human being like Big Brother. Like, you watch them sleep, you watch them wake up, etc. With a 2D model, I don't know, the only thing that you will see is my model just being frozen like this. I mean, I do have a sleeping animation that gets triggered once the tracking is gone. While he's sleeping, you find 1k people watching. Yeah, but that's because Kaisenet has created a huge community at this point. So the people are not watching him per se sleep. The people are there to chat with each other. That's like the benefit and the perks of having a huge community is at some point you can be even sleeping or not even be live, and people will still try to gather in those chat rooms or in those channels chat rooms to talk to each other, because that's what community is. You follow the same thing, or you follow the same interests or the same streamer in this case, and there's some connection that you have. So there's something you can talk about with other people. But what if would I chat in someone's stream while he's sleeping? Maybe because you made some new friends in that community. There's Insta or this, you can chat there. That is true. That is true, but some people don't use those two things like Discord or Instagram, so they just they also might be super young. You cannot forget that. They're also super young people who who have nothing better to do than to wait for the streamer to wake up. So there's that. I gotta be honest with you, a couple of years ago when sleep streams started, at first I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, I did not understand why that happened. Or what people get out of it. I thought it was some kind of fetish, right? Because I was like, there's no way that, like, normal people watch this. Like, there's some dude or a woman just sleeping. What's the point? What's the point of a live stream when there's no interaction? But then the more you get into the material, and the more you start to understand the community aspect of Twitch and the way people interact with this website and within this website, you understand that those types of people are usually there to entertain each other, and because they found friends within that community. Everyone wants to belong to some sort of community. That has always been the case, and that is why people gather in some big streamers chat, even though the streamer's either not there or sleeping, just to, I don't know, because they share the same interest. I like going to 1v streamers to chit chat with them. Yeah, I had that conversation the other day, that there's some people who specifically search out smaller streamers like myself, because it's more intimate. Like, there's more one-on-one interaction. The streamer usually also has the time, because there are not 20,000 people typing at the same time. So I have the time to reply to every one of your messages or questions. That's what people enjoy the most, and that's what kind of gets lost a little bit in the sauce when you have 20,000 people typing at the same time, or 1,000 people, or even 200 people is already a lot. My ADHD kicked in. I have ADHD too. And I listen to Tupac as well. Tupac is very old. You gotta have older brothers or uncles who forced you to listen to Tupac. Tupac is my age. I mean, not my age. I mean, Tupac is what I grew up with. Although, I gotta admit, there was like one of the most embarrassing stories of my childhood is... I told that story many times before, but my brother got a new CD player, and it was a CD player that could swap CDs. Like, it had a CD-Wechsler, it's called in German. So you could put 3 CDs into the sound system at the same time, which was like high-tech back in the day. 3 CDs, and then you would press a button, and then it would just rotate and then play another song, like another album. And I remember I must have been in 1st grade. I don't know, definitely elementary school, I don't know which grade. And my brother came home with a new Tupac CD, and my cousin was there, because my cousin and my brother, they grew up together, kind of like brothers. And they were the same age. And we went into his room, got a new CD, everyone's excited. Was a new Tupac. I don't know if it was All Eyes on Me, or if it was a best of, I don't know. It was definitely one of those albums that came out after his death. And young me didn't know that that was even a possibility, that someone could pass away and people still release music in his name. I was in elementary school. So we started listening to it. I vibed with them, even though I did not understand a single word. And then I said those words I still remember them, because it was such an embarrassing moment for me, and embarrassing moments for some reason get stuck in your brain forever. I told my cousin and my brother that, oh man, that I would be so happy if I could go to a Tupac concert one day. And they started laughing. They started laughing, pointing the finger at me, telling me that I'm dumb. And I said, why? And then he said, well, he's dead. You can't really go to a concert from a dead person. I was like, how is he dead when he just released a new album? Like, his new music, that's him. Is it not? He cannot be dead. I thought they were fucking with me, so I started crying. I thought they was just messing with me. So I went downstairs, asked my mom. I said, like, they told me Tupac is dead. And then my mother confirmed. She was like, yeah, he's dead. That did not go into my brain because it's like, what do you mean? Like, he still makes music. How is he dead? Yeah, that happened a couple of decades ago. And it's still stuck in my head. I sent you the song I told you about in the reaction section in the... Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's from a rapper I don't know. Soul King. Rockstar. I don't know who Soul King is. Is he famous? Soul King. Like Soul King. Gotta be honest with you, Algerian guy. I don't know a lot of new school rappers. And with new school, I mean the ones who dropped shit this year or last year. I mean, with new school, I don't mean the types of Kendrick or something like that. I don't consider that new school. He's 10 million on YouTube. Okay. 10 million is a lot. It is almost 1 a.m. in Germany. We've been going for 3.5 hours just yapping. I would say I'll go to bed now. And then tomorrow we'll see each other with 9 souls with a death counter. Maybe you can... You know what you can do? Maybe you can think of something like a challenge for every 10 deaths. Or maybe 10 is... I don't know how difficult 9 souls is. Like a fun challenge to do every 10 deaths or something like that. Or let's not say every 10 deaths, but we should have like markers. Like when I hit the 50 death mark or the 100 death marks, there should be challenges. Really? Oh yeah. You mean the time in Germany? Yes. I live in Germany, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning. Yeah, I live in Germany. It is already the next day. It's the 10th of June already in Germany. And it's almost 1 a.m. I used to have a clock. I'm gonna... If I don't forget, I'll make sure to add the clock back into the scene. Which will show you what time it is in Germany. It's 11:44. Oh, we are not that far apart then. Like from the time. That's easy. Just an hour difference. 1 hour difference. Okay. Once again, for everyone who expected 9 Souls live stream today, I apologize. But I hope you still had fun, you still enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Madara, for joining the community. Hope to see you tomorrow. Also like to thank Hana for joining the community. Domo arigato. Our American community got a little bit stronger today. But I'm also glad that Madara joined. So the Californians are not taking our stream over. Because at some point, if it's only Americans at some point, I gotta move to the States. Especially like California, that's like the worst case scenario of all the Americans. Because that's like a 10 hour difference. Or is it even more than that? It's like 10, right? California. What time is it in California right now? California time. It's 3 p.m. or almost 4 p.m. in California. God damn. That's a huge difference. What is this bullshit? I hate time zones. how am I going to bed? How is it 1 a.m. and people in California are still probably at the beach or at work, because it's not a holiday in America right now. I don't understand. I mean, I understand time zones. I still don't understand. It's bullshit. Alright. That just means I need to grind my ass off so I can hopefully get a working visa in America, so I can finally leave this place. And if someone, just ask around if someone is hiring a graphic designer. I'm very thankfully I'm a jack of all trades, so I can do basic website design. I'm very like, I would say I'm a pro in Photoshop. I'm also a video editor. So if you just ask around if you know someone in America, let me know. I would even, like, I mean, I cannot really get a work visa with an unpaid position, right? It's gonna be rough. But bare minimum. Graphics designer, what is that? So basically, have you ever seen an ad on, like, on YouTube? Or not just on YouTube, on any website pretty much. Or on Instagram about renting cars. Ads. I do ads, yeah. Most of the time. I mean, that's my main job is ads, but I do work in marketing, so I do customer relations as well. I do like Instagram. I deal with the KPIs. As I said, jack of all trades. My main job is to create graphics for our media presence, but I kind of do a lot. I need a manga drawer. I cannot draw. A lot of people have the misconception that a graphics designer means drawing as well. Yeah, I cannot draw. I create, for example, you know, when there's like a discount happening, special holiday, Christmas discounts, those come with a certain design, right? And I'm the one who's creating it for my company. Like Easter, Halloween, Christmas, or just like summer, summer discounts. The other day, not the other day, like recently, we had a huge giveaway campaign going on where people could win their expenses would be paid if they win the giveaway for the next vacations. The expenses would be paid. So I did the entire campaign for that. Like an event in the store, yeah. I wish I can do video editing full time at some point, because that is definitely the one that is also fulfilling me. Graphics design is kind of boring, especially because a lot of companies are working on a bare minimum these days, and are just fine with like whatever you find on Canva. Like Canva templates are so strong, especially for smaller companies. I mean, the stuff that I'm currently doing would not fly with a, like, I work for a car company. But the stuff that I'm doing would not fly for the major car companies. For example, Sixt. I don't know if you know Sixt, one of the biggest car rental companies in Germany, but also in the world pretty much. If I would do the same type of work or quality of work, not saying my quality is shit or anything like that, I'm just saying that it's like bare minimum almost. If I would do the same thing as I do now on Sixt, that would not fly. Like, I would probably get fired within a week. Or not even fired, like, they would not even expect me, because Sixt only takes the best of the best. but for the company I work for, not saying my stuff is bad. I think at some point I also like showed you a little bit of my templating work. It's definitely good, but not high level sixth marketing material. Well, bis später. Bis später, Madara. Auf Wiedersehen. See you around. Wir sehen uns. Which would translate to we see each other. Like later. Alrighty. Thank you so much once again for being here. And thank you so much for moderating, Lexi. I already think the people who joined us, hopefully we'll just keep on going tomorrow. Thanks for making us enjoy here. No, thank you. These words make me so happy. Hannah said something similar before she left. Like, no, thank you. You're making my day, not the other way around. Imagine nobody being here. That would suck as a streamer. Okay, bye-bye. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon if you're in America. And have a good night if you're somewhere else. Bye-bye.